Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper, and today I'm going to be making a card for a new challenge called Tic-Tac-Toe. And I thought I'd share it with you because I'm going to be playing with my new Misty. I'm so excited and really appreciative. This was actually a gift from Caroline. I would just like to say thank you, and I am loving this. I've been having so much fun, and it's so easy to use. But this is the first time I've ever used a mounted like rubber stamp on the Misty. So there's a special insert that I would usually use in it because most of my stamps are the clear thinner ones. So I just had to take that out, but you'll see that in a minute. But what I love about this is that you don't have to be a perfect stamper because you can keep re-stamping. And that's what I'm doing here. This background stamp is from Penny Black and it's called Swirled, and I don't think there's anything out there like this. It's just an awesome stamp, and I'm adding some bright green ink, which is a Ranger dye ink called Electric Lime. And then I can just remove my cling stamp from the lid of the Misty, which is basically just acting as a stamp block. And I'm going to take my magnets away, and I'm making sure not to place them near each other because they really are very, very strong. And then just put my card base aside for a minute, and then this is the foam that you pop back in, and then it is actually obviously the same width as the back of the mounted foam because now my cling stamps, the thinner stamps, will work perfectly. And I've got another piece of cardstock. This is cut the same size as my card front. And I've got my favourite cat images from Penny Black. And this one is one of the ones from the Good Day set. And he's holding up a present. And I want him to be holding up some balloons because this is going to be a shaker card. So what I've done here is use some Inkadinkadoo stamping mask paper and masked out the present. And I've got some Versa mark ink because this is going to be embossed, and then I can just simply flip the lid over and apply some pressure, and that'll just add the ink where I want it to on the piece of cardstock. So the embossing powder I'm using today is one from Zing, and it's a really lovely chocolate brown, and it's called Chestnut. And because I've masked out that present, there are a couple of bits of stray embossing powder there, and before I heat set it, it's just easier to remove them now than try and scrape them off after. I'll just hit that with my heat tool. And I'm going to work out where I want my dies, and this is from my Penny Black set called Uplifting, and just move them around on the front of my card. I do want them to be straight up and down from the hands of the cat, so that's why I'm positioning them like that. Hold them in place with some low-tack tape and then run it through my die cutting machine. Now I've got some spare balloons that I can use for another project. My colouring today is going to be with some Inktense pencils. I haven't used these in a little while and I really like how they look. It kind of gives you a watercolour look, but they're a lot more manageable. If you're not very good at watercolouring, I find that these are a really good option because it's like basically colouring with a pencil and then just blending it out with the watercolour. And you can pick up or take away colour just like you can with any watercolour. But once these are dry, they're permanent. And what I'm doing here is just adding some colour using using my wet brush against the tip of the pencil, and that basically just picks up the colour, and then I can make it more intense and to the brightness that I want. Now, because I'm not actually working on watercolour cardstock here, I am being careful not to add too much water because I don't want the paper to pill. Now I've got my Copic multi-liner. This is a 0.3. I'm just adding some balloon strings straight down using my T-square ruler and tying them onto his fingers with a little bow. Now obviously if this was a real cat you wouldn't tie balloons to their fingers, but well, you'd hope that no one would anyway. I don't think my cat would tolerate it at all. Should be out the door at a shop. And once that's done, I want to add my sentiment. This is from a set, it's actually a Christmas set called Deck the Halls, and it says Celebrate. And I've got some blue ink. This one's called Coastal, I can't remember now. It's another Ranger one. What's it called? Caribbean Coast, that's it. And really pretty colour. And obviously I did need to stamp that again. And that's what I'm absolutely loving about the Misty is you don't have, it takes the guesswork out of it. You can just, if you don't stamp it perfectly, you know that if you stamp it again, it's going to be in exactly the same spot. I just love it. Thank you, Caroline. So I've added the acetate to the back of my front panel now, and I didn't make you sit through this adding the foam tape here. It took me forever, and I've got it doubled up as well, and I've used score tape to hold it in place. And now I've got some Seize the Day, they're called. That's the colour, and they're prills. And I forgot that I wanted to add some sequins to this as well, so I did put too many in there, but I just took a few out, and then I can just add my sequins. Now I've got some green, blue, and of course some sparkling clear from Pretty Pink Posh. I thought they'd be really pretty in there as well. And I can just remove the back of the score tape here, and a little trick, rather than try and line this up my card front, which would be really difficult to do, I've added a acetate back to the back of my panel, and then I can add some more tape and just line this up simply on my card front, and my card is done. So thanks for joining me today. I'll be back again real soon. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.